Hi, boys and girls. This video is introducing your reading portion of your lesson today. So let's dive in and see what we're going to learn as we continue to read in our lesson. So, the first big question that we're going to start this lesson off is what interesting fact did we learn about the Mayas and how did the Mayan society adapt and thrive in such a large and diverse region? So, as we reread this chapter today, I want you to think about these two questions. So let's begin reading. It says Desiree Charney was a French archaeologist who visited the jungles of Central America in the 1800s. He wrote the words below in this journal. The rain is insensate. The damp seemed to penetrate the very marrow of our bones. A vegetable mold settled on our hats, which were obliged to the brush of the daily. We live in mud, we are covered in mud, and we breathe in mud. The ground is so slippery that we are often on our backs is our feet. Imagine slipping and sliding through mud all day long. Imagine constantly swatting on at mosquitoes. Imagine pit vipers and tarantulas wrestling in trees overhead. Imagine constant heat and humidity. Mud, poisonous creatures, and muggy weather were all part of Charney's experience in the forest. Charney visited Central America after reading a travel book written by John Lloyd Stephens and illustrated by Frederick Catherwood. He was fascinated by the book's illustration of ancient Maya ruins. Catherwood drew pictures of vine-choked temples poked through clouds. His drawings of carved masks looked like real people. Stevens and Catherwood portrayed abandoned cities, swallowed up dense forests. Their book captured the imaginations of people from all around the world. Who were these Maya, people wondered? Okay, so as we read, this quote ends, the ground is so slippery that we are often on our backs as our feet. What does he mean by these words? Think about that, boys and girls. He means that the ground is so muddy and slippery, people often fall down or slip off their feet onto their backs. So, wow, it must be really muddy. And in paragraph 2, notice how many times the author asks the reader to imagine something. Why do you think the author asks the writer to imagine all these things that are described? It is probably boys and girls. The things that the author describes could be considered unpleasant or frightening to encounter. And also, the author perhaps painting an image in the writer's mind of a difficult environment for explorers, and more importantly, for early people to live in. So again, he's trying to paint that picture that we always talk about, painting that mental picture in our head so we can see as we read. Now, boys and girls, we're going to read along only the first paragraph of paragraph 9. The first excuse me, boys and girls. We're going to read the first paragraph on page 9. The Maya, it says the culture flourishes. The Maya are one of many groups of people who settled in Mesoamerica. They formed agricultural villages at least as early as 1800 BCE. Over time, they established a civilization. As many as 5 million people inhabited the area that stretched from the highlands of Guatemala to the plains of Yucatan. Between 250 and 900 CE, writing, religion, and art flourished. In certain respects, this era was the golden age for the Maya culture. So, in your notebook, boys and girls, I want you to answer these questions. The author uses the idiom a golden age to describe the success of a particular period of the Mayan civilization. Gold is a valuable metal and represents wealth and prosperity. Why might this period be described as a golden age? And the Golden Age was a period in which Mayan civilization thrived. What does it mean to thrive, boys and girls? And what evidence of growth and prosperity is found in paragraph 1? So again, go back and read paragraph 1 if you have questions and you to get the answer to those questions. Also, answer in your journal which groups of people were considered to be the highest social class, and based on the evidence from the text, how would you describe the social class of nobles, craftsmen, and farmers? So, boys and girls, answer these questions in your notebook, and we're going to stop right here, and I'm going to pick right back up on the second portion of your lesson.